Okay. I've been putting this off. I've been waiting. I've been thinking and trying to learn how to take my own advice on not reacting automatically to stimuli. Think about it a bit. You know, I'm always telling you the media does this, right? They show up to the scene of some incident. They don't know. They don't have all the facts yet. They use these visuals, right, that are real, but then they give you this narrative over it that more often than not turns out to not be true. Hands up, don't shoot. That poor guy that died, turns out he had these high doses of fentanyl in his system. That thing at the Capitol, not an insurrection. A bunch of yahoos doing something stupid. If they had been armed with guns, that's an insurrection. You know, if it was backed up by more attacks in other places, that's an insurrection. Media uses big words to, you know, support their bullshit narrative that they want you to accept because they are promoting an agenda. Right? I mean, Gulf of Tonkin. You can go way back. We're always being lied to. I'm always trying to get that point out there to you. Can't believe anything. I ran into a woman at a wedding once. I told the story before. Gorgeous. She started talking to me. Who could blame her? And she was a news reporter. When she told me that, I was like, And she could tell I didn't like that. What's my problem with reporters? I said, well, you guys show up at the scene. You don't know what you're talking about, but you start talking as if you know what you're talking about. And more often than not, it turns out to not be true. And she says, well, they tell us to do that. You know, so, and I've been egged on lately. I've been getting a lot of notes from people asking me how I'm doing, what I think about what's going on. You know, I'm not emotionally too disturbed. You see it happening. It was all discussed. So, you know, whatever. It's interesting. You ever have somebody tell you something about someone? You don't know the person. Maybe you know the person, but you don't know them well. You never spend real time with them. More often than not, you don't know the person at all. But I'm almost congested when I start talking to this camera. But they'll create this thing in your mind about someone that you don't know at all or very well. You've seen the person out, you've seen them doing things with other people, but you're hearing these horrible things about that person. And then that affects how you think about them. You ever have that happen to you? You ever meet somebody and then they tell you later, oh, you know, so-and-so said this about you, or didn't have a great opinion, but turns out you're a pretty good guy or girl. Or whatever you want to call yourself these days. And, that happens all the time, right? It happens all the time. Something happened when I was home recently where I was spending time with these people, several of whom were married, you know. And I was seeing them on a daily basis, talking to them. And, you know, one day they could be like, this bitch, da-da-da-da, this asshole, da-da-da-da-da, it's over, I can't take it anymore. And if that was the only conversation you had with them, you might go off and see other people that you both know, and that conversation might come up, and you might say something like, wow, yeah, they're having problems. But then the next day, or 2 days later, 3 days later, those two people are all lovey-dovey going on a vacation together or something. Well, you just put an idea in somebody else's head that they're having issues because you saw that. But now you see the other thing. Are you going to go back and correct what you just witnessed? You know, the restitution, I don't know, wrong word, but you know, the makeup, and they're all lovey-dovey. People just blow off steam. Nobody's perfect. So that's what the media did to you all with Trump for the last 5 years. Yeah, so crazy. Because if you just look at policies, and it's funny, if I talk about the good things that Trump did that some people don't accept, or they think it's a fluke or luck or something, they think I'm a Trump cultist or something. And then the actual Trump cultists, if I talk about things in a normal way, they think I'm not, you know, militant enough or something. So it's a hard, you can't win. But energy independence was a big deal for us. Right? That wasn't just about lower gas prices at the pump. That was about less chance of war and a whole bunch of other things that come with it. Socioeconomic things and political things across the board with other countries. So it's just, I don't know, man. I was watching TV today, and we're back to this normal thing where the president doesn't actually speak to the press. They got a person to answer questions of how the president thinks on things, to put things in a positive light or misdirect you or say, well, we don't know that right now, we'll get back to you. The president will speak on that later. Yeah, after he's had hours of coaching on how to answer a question that they didn't accept or expect So that's what we're back to now. So like or hate Trump, at least when he talked to the media, which was almost on a daily basis, when he went to the helicopter or whatever, he would answer every question ad nauseum till they were tired of asking him questions. Or until they pissed him off and he walked away. You ever push somebody to the point, you ever see somebody be pushed to the point of acting crazy, somebody being gaslighted, and they can only take so much, and then they start attacking and fighting back? Which would be a normal response by anybody. Well, that was Trump. That's what that was. So it's just, I'm fascinated by this whole thing and how people want to see things. I find that when I talk to people who think for themselves, right, and I talk to a lot of people, all different walks of life, all the time. I have a lot of different interests. I meet people because of the bicycle stuff, because of the furniture stuff. I'm in and out of people's homes. People with a lot of money, people with no money. I've talked to bums on the street. It's fascinating to me because the people who are not being brainwashed by CNN or MSNBC or watching late night comedy, they can see it. They might not agree with everything, whatever. It's another thing I hate whenever Trump comes up. It's like, I didn't like him as a person. You don't know him as a person. This is the point I'm making. None of you know him as a person. You don't. You know what the media put out there. He said these things. Yeah, okay. Look at the whole context. Think about where he was pushed, whatever. I'm not not trying to defend some of the things, but I don't like that we have to hedge everything now. You want to say something good about the guy, but you first got to say, well, I don't like him as a person. This way people know that you're not a cultist or something. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Let's just get past that, if you're allowed to. I don't know. I think they're going to keep using them. But I didn't make, when Obama became president, I made a bunch of predictions. Because I looked into his history, and I saw his mother, his father, his stepfathers, grandparents, all his friends, dyed in the wool, self-admitted, socialist, communist, boom, right down the line. And I thought, why would this guy make a good president of the United States? I understood he was going to get elected because of the way he looked. That's it. First affirmative action president, period. Not trying to be mean about it, but that's why he got elected. And I made all these predictions. I said, we're probably going to get involved in more war, economy's going to be stagnant, everything's going to cost more money, blah, blah, blah. And everything I said happened and worse. And when Trump came along, I didn't really make a lot of predictions because I was like, well, I don't know. I have hopes. And he exceeded my hopes. Right? He renegotiated trade deals, Canada, Mexico, China, tempered down problems we had with North Korea. Middle East, he's been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He did a lot of really great things worldwide, and he affected worldwide economy. And this whole pandemic thing is interesting because that was a worldwide effort, political effort, to shut down the greatest economy. Because the global leaders, it's not a conspiracy theory, they all work together, they all want us to be equally miserable. I don't know what's going on there. I think they're all a bunch of aliens, I think that sometimes. But something kooky's going on there. Anyhow, I got off point. So the thing, I'm always all over the place, you know that. But, Trump exceeded my expectations as far as policy went. I'm very happy with the things he accomplished. But the Biden thing, it's a crazy thing. So things are going to get worse. The economy is going to be stagnant. Prices are going to go up for everything else. I barely existed during the 8 years of Obama. Barely got by. That was a rough time. And that's what's going to happen again. People like me, who hustle for a living, don't have a regular 9-to-5 job, the people who pay us for things, they're coming to us because they want it bad. We're not necessarily need people. But if those people are spending more of their income on taxes and gas and everything else, then all these numbers are going to go up. They're going to have less money to spend on the things that they want. So it's going to hurt us. government does these things. I was listening to Rice this morning, and she was talking about the plight of the African American in the country, and was listing all these things that these people have gone through. But what she didn't say, which is a fact, is that all the things she listed were a direct result of government policies, government ineptitude, government meddling. That's what created all these issues and why these people suffer. But you know what? The government's going to solve that for you. Yep. The government created it, and now they're going to solve it. If you believe that, you're probably a Biden voter, so I don't know what to tell you. This is not politics here. I'm just saying, you can talk about things that happen to be political without being really a political person. It's okay. So, good luck with everything. Try to be the best person you can. Have a good sense of humor. Try to take things too seriously. I know it's going to be hard. I mean, they've been screwing us with this pandemic thing. Now you're going to see, all of a sudden, everything's going to get better pretty quick. Little by little. California now, they can open the restaurants, But in the next few months, I predict, by summer, all of a sudden you're going to wonder what happened to the pandemic. Everybody's out. Oh, well, enough people were vaccinated, we got herd immunity now, and everything's fine. Watch that happen. Watch that happen. Anyhow, not here to piss you off, just here to make you think and realize what's going on a little bit. Think outside the box. Stop allowing the idiot box to program you with bullshit. All right?